Good day, everyone. My name is Diomin, and today we'll be discussing the organization of fire drills on vessels, mainly passenger vessels. To begin with, let's talk about the solace requirements to fire drills, and in particularly to fire drills on board passenger vessels. Generally, fire drills should be conducted as if there were an actual emergency to ensure crew preparedness, and every crew member should participate in at least one fire drill every month. However, regulations also require a fire drill to be conducted within 24 hours of the ship leaving port if more than 25% of the ship's crew has not participated in a fire drill within the last month. So that means that if more than 25% of a ship's crew changed and the new crew is not familiar with their designated duties and with the emergency procedures, a fire drill should be carried out. Additionally, passenger ships are required to have weekly fire drills, but that does not mean that the entire crew should be involved. Fire drill on passenger vessels should also consider that the passengers should be notified and, depending on the complexity of the fire drill, assembled at the appropriate muster stations. Furthermore, passenger safety briefings should be given, which include instructions on emergency procedures, though this is more general and not specific to fire drills alone. After all, we want to avoid confusion among the passengers and especially panic. When it comes to fire drill preparations, to maximize crew preparedness, drills should vary in their scope and complexity. A well-planned drill should simulate different fire emergencies such as fire in the engine room, galley, cargo hold, or accommodation. Realism can be added to the fire drill scenario by introducing elements such as making a key person unavailable, simulating blocked escape routes, equipment malfunctions, or limited visibility to significantly improve training value. Additionally, varying the timing and day of drills can help ensure that the entire crew remains prepared to respond effectively under different conditions while still supporting structured learning with real-world emergency response. Generally, fire drill takes 5 steps. First one is smoke alarm activation. Second is crew mustering and equipment deployment. Third is actual firefighting operations, followed by casualty handling and evacuation. And last, to wrap everything up, we should have a post-debrief brief. But in more details on all of this in the following files. So, to begin with, smoke alarm activation. I have provided the information on what to do in a real-life emergency, not just drill. However, if the drill is complex enough, this entire procedures can be used to make sure the drill is as close to life as possible. So, if one fire alarm is received on a bridge, the fireman on duty is called for verification together with the night patrol, office personnel, or engineer of a watch, depending on the alarm's location and time of activation throughout the day. Upon verification, if the alarm is confirmed, the officer of a watch proceeds with a team call Foxtrot Echo, pronounced 3 times, deck number, main vertical zone number, and some additional details. Let's say if it's a precise passenger number cabin. And after that, it's important to immediately contact the master. Hearing this call, several teams are activated, among which are reaction team, firefighting teams, medical first aid team, and reduced mobility teams. I would like to note that if 2 fire alarms are immediately activated, then the officer of watch should not wait for any confirmation and start with the aforementioned team call and contact the master. Now, the first fire actions is that once the alarm has been given, the fireman on duty or the engineer of a watch proceed with the first fire extinguishing action, immediately reporting the results to the bridge. In case of failure, they should close the access door to the location, if possible, and warn the nearby cabins, assuming that the fire is in passenger area, closing all fire doors on the path. At the same time, the chief officer receives crucial information about the fire from the bridge to establish the staging area, more on that later, for the reaction and firefighting teams. The bosun, once spoken with the chief officer, proceeds to the staging area and starts preparing fire hoses disconnected from the nozzle. We are assuming that the firefighting teams will be coming with some of their equipment which is tested more often than the equipment in the fireboxes on other ships. The electrician will proceed to electrically disconnect the affected area, while the reefer engineer will shut off ventilation. Both should report their successful or failure actions to the chief officer. Simultaneously, the evacuation team collects the instructions from the hotel manager on how to isolate the affected area and provide support to the guests. The first aid team should remain on standby with the doctor in the ship's hospital, ready to rescue persons in case of need. Firefighting team composition. While the first firefighting actions are being carried out, the second officer, designated as the firefighting team leader, should reach the main fire station, gather the firefighting teams with their appropriate equipment, and lead them to the staging area using a safe route. The information regarding the safe route is usually provided by the bridge, so as the firefighting teams can reach the staging area while avoiding the affected areas by fire. Two firefighting teams, mainly cooling and support teams, comprised by 3 operators each, proceed with donning of their fire suits in the staging area. Each operator has an appointed assistant who helps them with fire suit donning process, attachment of the fire-resistant cable, connecting fire hoses, and lastly, changing breathing gas bottles. Tasks are well defined and not exchangeable, if not under exceptional emergency circumstances. I'd like to mention that the optimal fire suit donning sequence means that firstly, trousers are done and they are already rolled down on the boots. After that, balaclava, jacket, belt, mask, helmet, torchlight, and then the breathing gas bottle. Breathing gas bottles should be checked for pressure as well as low pressure alarm. Now on the staging area, which I have already mentioned several times. The staging area is a special location placed as close as possible to the area affected by fire, although maintaining sufficient safety for the crew and ensuring enough time to don the fire suits and arrange whatever else is necessary. Now, coming to the actual attacking of the fire and also rescuing the injured. After the first fire team has been briefed and is now ready, the fire can be engaged. The third operator opens the door to the affected area 3 times to allow the first operator to deliver 3 blasts of cooling with a fire hose. Once the affected area is entered, the third operator is a jolly who can continue to attack the fire with the other 2 operators, but also can remain at the door depending on the developing situation and the orders given during the briefing. Now, this presentation will not provide details on how to effectively combat the fire, as this is a part of the firefighting course, which I assume most of the course participants already have. So I'll concentrate on the rescuing the injured. Once the presence of the injured person is ascertained, the first operator contacts the second officer, who in turn reaches out to the medical first aid team. The first operator then proceeds to use the hose with nebulized blast, basically the one that looks like a shield, while the third operator retrieves the injured and the entire team backtracks towards the exit, with the first and second operator protecting the third one who carried out the injured person. Afterwards, the injured person is relegated to the medical first aid team, and the first and second fire teams can proceed to continue attacking the fire, assuming they haven't extinguished it before. Once the drill is done a structured debriefing session should be conducted. Crew members should discuss what went well and identify areas of improvement, including equipment failures or operational or procedural issues encountered during the drill should be highlighted. Any identified areas of improvement or update of the training manual required by SOLAS, Chapter 2.2, Regulation 15, should be assessed at the time. Such fire drill records must also be maintained as per SOLAS requirements and made available during the port state control inspections. These records serve as the evidence of compliance and provide valuable insights for fire-tuning future drills and enhancing onboard safety culture. So, thank you for listening to this short presentation. I'd like to mention that not every ship will have the same procedure or the same recommendations to how to carry the firefighting drills. I took heavy inspiration from one of the ships that I've worked before, and since I participated in fire drills, they're